welcome back to this session of class 9 mathematics. This class we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 3, coordinate geometry. And now what do you mean by coordinate geometry, and before that some points regarding the chapter. Now we know the geometry or all about geometry starts with a single point. This point is actually dimensionless. We know point is dimensionless, isn't it? Single dimension, we draw a line. Two dimensions, we draw shapes in a plane or a piece of paper. We can draw shapes, that is two-dimensional objects which has length and breadth to it, and three-dimensional objects as we see them in the real, they have length, breadth and height. But point, as we see, it is dimensionless and it denotes a position in a plane or space. Okay, so that is how it takes significance. So points are very important to locate a position, to study about a position in space. So that's what all about in coordinate geometry. Okay, so for denoting or for positioning a location, for denoting a position in space or in planes, we have a particular system. That is, we represent the point. We represent a point in space or in plane. Actually, we can't. I can't tell you. I can't explain you. So let us imagine there is a point here, and the length of this point. So I won't be able, and you won't get it. What I'm saying, you won't be able to imagine. So let us put it on the paper, or let us put it on the plane of the board, and let's see what is the position of this particular point. So that is what all about coordinate geometry. So as and when we move on regarding the location of the point in the plane, we'll know what is coordinate, what a coordinate means, and what is coordinate geometry all about. Okay, so now for denoting, for finding out the position of this particular point, we have two perpendicular lines. I take this point out, I'll make some other point. So we have two perpendicular lines for reference. Okay, so these two lines, that is, one is a horizontal line and another one is a vertical line, and these two lines are perpendicular to each other, that is, they make angles 90 degrees with them. Okay, so the perpendicular lines which are both horizontal and vertical, and these lines are called axis. Okay, axis, and a single line is called axis. Now for our convenience, we have named the horizontal axis as x-axis and the vertical line as the y-axis. Okay, you understand? Just imagine the axis of Earth. So by which the Earth rotates, the axis around which the Earth rotates, it has a imaginary line called axis running in the middle of it, isn't it? It has the axis as the point of reference and it rotates, isn't it? Just like that, we have an axis vertically and we have an axis horizontally, which is called x-axis and y-axis. Actually, this method was developed by René Descartes. René Descartes. Okay, he used this method. To solve problems in geometry. Okay, by means of geometry, he solved problems. He wanted to mark points or locate the points in space. Okay, so he wanted to solve problems in geometry using this particular system of marking points. That is, after his name Descartes, this system was called as Cartesian system of coordinates. Cartesian system of coordinates, that is, marking points or locating points in a plane is called the Cartesian system of coordinates. So what do we mean by coordinates? Now we have learned about the axis, that is x-axis and y-axis. For reference, to mark a point, we have the vertical axis and the vertical y-axis and the horizontal x-axis, which are perpendicular. Now they meet at some particular point, isn't it? This is marked as O, or this is called the origin. Okay, so this is called the origin, and the point for the origin is taken as 0, 0. Okay, so this is the starting point or the origin, which has the points 0, 0. So what is 0, 0? What is both this? What are the zeros separated by commas? So for this, let us take a point somewhere here. Okay, and for our reference, we divide the x-axis into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just imagine a graph paper, and in the graph paper we'll mark each and every 1 centimeter as 1 unit, isn't it? The same. Now here, this side, the left side are the negative numbers, -1, -2 and so on, and here we have the positive y-axis, and down we have the negative y-axis. Okay, so now how do we mark the plot the point, or how do we find out the point somewhere here in the plane? Okay, for that what we need to do is we have to drop a perpendicular from the point to the x-axis and from the point to the y-axis. I draw two perpendiculars so that it meet 2 points on the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so the perpendicular distance, see, when I draw perpendicular line to x-axis, this distance is obtained from the y-axis point, that is 3. Okay, the perpendicular distance, a perpendicular drawn to x-axis will give you the perpendicular distance of the point from y, because see, up to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the distance, this is the height of point located there, and the perpendicular drawn to y will give you the distance, horizontal distance. So that is 3. So that is how we write the points corresponding to the x-axis and to the y-axis. So the points are denoted as x, y. So this x represents the distance of the point, the horizontal distance of the point from the origin, and this represents the vertical distance of the point from the x-axis. Okay, so we counted from origin till what point it reaches, so that is marked here, y. Now what is this called? This x-axis, this is called a coordinate, x coordinate, and this is called y coordinate. Okay, so this is called as x coordinate, that is a point at which the perpendicular dropped from the given point reaches the x-axis. This is called x coordinate, and the perpendicular which points the point in the y-axis is called the y coordinate. And what is this x coordinate called? This is called abscissa. This is called abscissa, and this is called ordinate. Remember, x coordinate is called abscissa and y coordinate is called ordinate, and they are separated by a comma and given within parenthesis. Okay, within brackets. So this is how we represent a point in a plane. Okay, by drawing perpendiculars from the point to x-axis, which tells you about the y coordinate, from the point to the y-axis a perpendicular which tells you about the x coordinate. Do you understand? So we have studied what is x-axis, what is y-axis, and this is y dash, x dash, just a mirror image of the x and y axis in the negative direction. Okay, so we have seen the points. How do we write the points in the Cartesian system of coordinates? Now if you observe this part of the Cartesian system of coordinates, or this is called the Cartesian plane. So in honor of the scientist Rene Descartes. It is known as Cartesian system of coordinates, and the plane is called the Cartesian plane, which is divided into 4 quadrants. What is it called? They are called quadrants. Isn't it? Each is one quadrant. See, it makes 90 degrees each, isn't it? Total 360, it makes 90, 90, 90, 90. So there are 4 quadrants totally, and this is the first quadrant, the second quadrant. So it goes clockwise, anti-clockwise, third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. Okay, so when you observe in the first quadrant, the x is positive and y is also positive. Isn't it? See, x value is positive and y value is also positive. When I take the second quadrant, see this second quadrant alone, x is negative and y is positive. See this, in this if I mark a point, you have x point and the y point, isn't it? So x is negative and y is positive. In the third quadrant, you have both x and y as negative. And in the fourth quadrant, see, in the fourth quadrant, you have x positive and y negative. So this is how we represent points in all the 4 quadrants. Okay, do you understand? So you need to remember the signs in each, signs of the points in each quadrant. First quadrant, all are positive. Second quadrant, x is negative and y is positive. Third quadrant, both are negative. And fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. This is easier for us to remember because when we draw the axis, it is obvious. Positive, we mark positive x and y axis and negative x and y axis, and correspondingly we understand how the points are marked there and their signs too. Okay, so this is about the signs of the points. Now, what is this Cartesian plane, or what is the Cartesian system of coordinates, or marking the coordinates, marking the points used? So it is, as I said earlier, it is used to find the position of a point in a plane. When I mark a point in a plane, I have to understand its position. I have to know the position where it stands in the plane, isn't it? So to find out the position of the point, we use the Cartesian system of coordinates, or we mark the point in the Cartesian plane so as to understand its position. Okay, the second thing is we'll be able to solve equations using the system of Cartesian coordinates. That is, marking the points. See, if at all, let me give an example, a linear equation. See, I have 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. If I have 2x plus 3y is equal to 5, this represents a line, and if I put values for x and y, this x and y is nothing but the points here, marked points here. So if I put value for x, I can find the value for y. So if I put the value for x is equal to 0, then what becomes 3y is equal to 5, or y will become 5 by 5. If I put x is equal to 1, then what it becomes? 3y is equal to 5 minus 2, or 3y is equal to 3, y is equal to 1. So how do we write this point? X is equal to 0, y is equal to 5 by 3. 5 by 3 is nothing but 1.5 or 1.6 approximately. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. So that is how we mark points for a particular line. We join the points. Maximum we try the points which fall in a line, we join them, and we get a line. We represent the equations by lines. So that is how people solved equations using this Cartesian system of coordinates. So we'll be able to represent the equation in the form of line by plotting the points corresponding to x and y values in the equation. Do you understand? So for this purpose, this Cartesian system is used. Now I have been telling you about the equations, isn't it? So even the x-axis, y-axis and the lines drawn in the Cartesian system of Cartesian plane has some equations attached to it. So if I say, see, if I have to represent this x-axis by an equation, then what is the equation? See, when you observe this x-axis, a point on the x-axis, if I take suppose this point, how will I represent this point on the x-axis? I said first you have to write the x-coordinate and then the y-coordinate. Is there any perpendicular drawn from, can I draw any perpendicular line from 4 to y-axis? If at all I can draw, it will meet the origin only, isn't it? So there is no point in y-axis except 0. So there is no point, so I take it as 0. This is x point, this is y point. Every time I have to write the x coordinate first and the y coordinate, that is abscissa comma ordinate. That is how the representation goes. So 4 comma 0, isn't it? If I take 2, then this is written as 2 comma 0. So 4 comma 0, 2 comma 0 are all points on the x-axis. So what does it mean by these points? I can say x-axis can be represented as y is equal to 0, isn't it? That is the common thing, isn't it? X is equal to some constant, we can say, but we don't know the value, so y is equal to cos 0 is the constant form which I can represent the x-axis by. You understand? So whenever I see the equation y is equal to 0, then it means it is the x-axis. Now when I mark this, what is the point here? This 4 is the y coordinate, so I write 4 here. But what is the x coordinate? Can I draw any perpendicular line from here to x-axis? If at all, it will be the y-axis and it will drop to 0, isn't it? So there is no point, no other point can be written here except 0. So 0 comma 4 is the representation here, and if I take 2 here, then that is 0 comma 2. So see the points 0 comma 4 and 0 comma 2 on the y-axis. So here you have 0 in x-axis, so the equation has to be x is equal to 0 for y-axis. Just as we had y is equal to 0 for x-axis, we have x is equal to 0 for y-axis. So whenever you see the equation x is equal to 0, you remember or you will come to know that it is y-axis. So the equation for y-axis is x is equal to 0 and the equation for x-axis is y is equal to 0. Do you understand? So that is how we represent the points in x-axis and y-axis. Okay. Now let us take x-axis, y-axis. We have seen the equations for x is equal to x-axis and y-axis, isn't it? Now let me draw a line here. Let me mark points like this is, I told you 0 comma 3, isn't it? This is 0 comma 3 and 0 comma 3 is drawn here, and let me mark some other point. So I drop it here. So this point is 2 comma 3 and I take another point 4 comma 3. I take another point 5 comma 3. So when you observe the points 0 comma 3, 2 comma 3, 4 comma 3 and 5 comma 3, I rub off these lines because this is just for our convenience to find out what are the points in the x. So when I join all these points 0, 2 comma 3, 4 comma 3 and 5 comma 3, when I join all these points, I get a line. See, I get a line which is parallel to the x-axis. A line parallel to x-axis. So what is this? What does a line parallel to x-axis represents? So line parallel to x-axis represent that y is constant here. See, y, the value of y hasn't changed at all, but the value for x changes 0, 2, 4, 5 and 3, but the y coordinate remains the same because the line doesn't increase or decrease, it goes straight like this. It is parallel, the distance is same. I said for parallel lines the distance same throughout, isn't it? So the y coordinate is 3 everywhere, only the x coordinate changes. So the line parallel to x axis have an equation y is equal to k. k can be any constant. So this parallel line can be anywhere. Even with 2 you have, even with 5 you can draw, or even with -5 you can draw y is equal to -5. So all these lines, I mean y is equal to k. When I put y is equal to some number, y is equal to 4, y is equal to -6, y is equal to 10, y is equal to -1. All these things represent that there is a line parallel to x-axis through the point y. Okay, through the point y. Y is equal to some point is given, isn't it? So through that point, there is a line drawn parallel to x-axis. So a line parallel to x-axis has the equation y is equal to k. Now, let me draw here. Let me have point like -3 comma. See, this is a point here. So this is -3 comma 2, because corresponding to 2 I have -3 here. Next, you have another point which has -3 comma 4. I have another point, say -3 comma 6. If I join all the 3 points, it meets at 3, -3 in the x-axis. So how does this line, see how do you find this line to be? This line is parallel to the y-axis. As this line is parallel to x-axis, this line is, see, I've drawn a line parallel to y-axis, and it has points like -3 comma 2, -3 comma 4, -3 comma 6. This -3, that is the first point, is always abscissa. I told it is x coordinate, isn't it? So x coordinate haven't changed, y coordinate is changing here, isn't it? So what is this? A line parallel to y-axis. Isn't it? Line parallel to y-axis. So line parallel to y-axis, what do you understand by the line parallel to y-axis? What does the coordinate show? The x coordinate is constant. So x is equal to k will be the equation for line parallel to y-axis. Do you understand? When x is equal to 0, it represents y-axis. When y is equal to 0, it represents y-axis. When y is some constant, when y is equal to k, see, when y is k, it doesn't change, y value doesn't change, then that represents a line parallel to x-axis. When x doesn't change, when x is constant, x is equal to k, this equation represents a line parallel to y-axis. Okay, so these are some points you need to understand regarding the Cartesian system of coordinates, all the points marked in the Cartesian plane. Okay, I hope all these terms and all these equations are understood, and in the next class we will see some more interesting facts about Cartesian system, and we will see some problems so that you will be more clear in the concept of coordinate geometry. Actually, this is quite a very easy chapter. You can understand it very well, and we can apply the concept of coordinate geometry, as I told you, in solving linear equations. It will be very useful. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class for some more topics in coordinate geometry and some problems regarding the chapter. Until then, it's bye from Anu.